out of my executive office into the studio today. What a great pleasure. And good morning, West Bloomfield and the greater West Bloomfield area. Very good to have you with us. You are watching The Splash Live, our very own local television program here each and every Monday through Friday at 9:30, not only on TV, but on other outlets. We'll get to that in a second. And it kicks off 90 minutes of live local television. Tyler Keefe standing by. We'll get into the Michigan Megacast at 10 o'clock this morning. So The Splash Live now, the Megacast at 10, an hour and a half every day to start your day. So, of course, you can watch us all over all of our outlets, of course, on Civic Center TV, which is channel 15 on Comcast and channel 99 on AT&T. You can also watch us on our Facebook page and our Facebook app. Of course, we invite you to watch us on civiccentertv.com as well, on our Facebook app, and then, of course, on YouTube. So lots of places to watch. And then the most fun is to listen in your car, as many of you are right now, driving around the greater West Bloomfield area, West Bloomfield, Walled Lake, the Lakes area, Pontiac. 89.3 FM, Lakes FM. We're here each and every Monday through Friday morning. Got a great show lined up for you. The biggest news of the day, you probably noticed yesterday when you stepped out. Wow, change of weather. It has really cooled down and expect it to stay that way. Taking a look at our weather, sunny skies today, 66 degrees. That is going to be our high. That's it. And then listen to this. Tonight, some clouds moving in down to 49. Get out your jacket. Maybe you want to see if the heat is working in your home. It's getting to be that time of year. Cool over the weekend with cloudy skies, temperatures in the 60s, both on Saturday and Sunday. And I took a look ahead at the weather. It doesn't really warm up significantly until we get into next Sunday, when we'll be back in the 70s. So a very fall-like weather pattern here in the greater West Bloomfield area. And that's going to be big news for us tonight, as our whole broadcast team and the West Bloomfield High School football team and a large part of our community head over to Rochester and Rochester Adams for your West Bloomfield Lakers, who have a huge contest tonight. So if you've not been following the Lakers over the past couple of years, unbelievable football team. Many say one of the best in the state. You look at the state rankings from the Free Press and Max Preps and all the other folks. They have the West Bloomfield Lakers, our own West Bloomfield Lakers, third or fourth in the state, maybe fifth, depending on whose poll you look at. That's great news. It's been a great setup. The Lakers have won every single game so far this season. And tonight, maybe their biggest contest, as they play Rochester Adams. It's great drama in that Rochester Adams upset the Lakers at the beginning of last season, the first game of the season, and then beat the Lakers and knocked them out of the playoffs last year with a very slim 14-13 margin. And that happened. They were down and they came all the way back in the second half and beat your Lakers. So the football team, I could tell you, because we're close to the team, they are ready to go back and get some payback. It's going to be a great night of high school football. We've had thousands of people at our games so far this year, not only people in the West Bloomfield area who are interested, and tonight in Rochester, but just football fans everywhere. It's going to be a great contest. And of course, the big news is we hope you get out and come over to Rochester Adams and support the Lakers. But if by some chance you can't make it, we've got it all here for you live on Civic Center TV and across all of our outlets. I'll be on the coverage along with Tyler Keefe. We'll both be working overtime today. And then our entire crew, Calvin in the other room here in the Splash control room, and literally our entire team working real hard to get this game on the air tonight. And you'll be able to watch it on Civic Center TV. You'll be able to watch it on civiccentertv.com. We'll have it on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, and then all over the internet and social media. YouTube, just go to YouTube and look for our Civic Center TV channel, or just search on YouTube and look for the West Bloomfield High School Lakers live broadcast, and also the school's Facebook page will also have it. So live coverage tonight. We hope it's going to be an exciting night for the Lakers. Hopefully they'll be able to finally beat Rochester Adams and move forward. One guy who couldn't be more excited about the contest tonight is a high school football head coach. That's Tyrese Grice. And Tyler Keefe had a chance to catch up with Tyrese earlier in the week on This Week in Laker Football, and here's what they had to chat about.
One thing we know about Clarkson, it's a system program. Their players work within a system, and a quarterback didn't change how they do things versus the first starter or first string or the second string. Didn't change how we felt because you guys still has to account for that player. And in fact, he kind of hurt us a few times throughout the game in his running ability. So we knew, but at the end of the day, our whole game plan was we got to stop Ethan Clark. No one else really matters, but 80% to 90% of the plays go through him. So we were able to do that in the second half. The first half, he was able to pick up some plays, and we was able to contain him. But in the second half, he was only able to get negative 2 yards offense in that second half rushing. And we got hurt on the big plays in the second half.
And you mentioned shutting them down much more effectively in the second half, and the impact that can have on an offense like Clarkston as they're trying at that point to get the receiving game more involved. And that's not an easy task, shutting that down either, with talent like Desmond Stevens, Cole Jarvis playing in that game as well. And they've had big weeks over the last few weeks. Shutting down that defensive front, that offensive front on the wide receiver core in particular, is that more about that pressure you were able to put on Cossack in the backfield, or more about just the great coverage that you've had from your defensive backs all throughout the season?
It's a combination of both. Every time he threw the ball, I like to roll out, we had somebody in his face. So when you got a quarterback rolling out and you got a player in their face, he can only read one side of the ball, one angle of the ball. So as long as that guy is covered, so that's a combination of the both. So we was able to put a lot of pressure on him, and that helped. And we knew he was a young quarterback. We knew he was a backup quarterback, but he did hurt us as well. So he got the ball off on a 4th and 10, and they have like a 6'6" tight end, and we had a short guy, and he was able to jump over it. We take that play up. We stop that play, change the whole entire momentum of their comeback.
On the offensive side of the ball, we saw, much like we've seen develop over the last couple of weeks, getting more of the players involved in making plays and getting targets kind of spread out throughout the immense talent that you have on the offensive side of the ball. How has that added a new wrinkle to your offense, or at least added a benefit to? What benefit has that added to your offense to be able to have these plays designed for so many different guys? And if a play falls apart, you got secondary and tertiary options down the line to then get the ball to and still be highly effective.
Well, we have a lot of talent on this team, and these guys want the ball. So you try to spread the wealth as much as you can without losing sight of it. At the end of the day, it's a team sport. But each week is maybe a different person. Last week it was Kenneth Jones running the ball. Before that it was Dre Hill with 2 touchdowns, and you're always going to see Samaj Morgan making plays. But those guys are the guys that people may not see. They look at Samaj, but we have other weapons in terms of getting the ball to them. So if you stop one player, then you have to go after another. So that just helps. Having a player like Samaj opens the doors for the rest of the receivers.
It helps too to have such versatility on that offense too from all those players. You're able to have Samaj, who is a former quarterback, come in and throw for a touchdown. You have Kenneth Jones operating on the Wildcat and being highly effective, including on a 2-point conversion. And you have guys like Brody Picour, your backup quarterback, is regularly playing at tight end and fullback. Speak to the importance of that versatility, position to position, but also player to player, and what that allows for your offense to do to be even more potent on the gridiron every week.
Well, we try to take what a particular player do well and try to exploit that into our advantage in terms of making sure that we run the right play, get it to the right person who can, like some players may want a better wheel route than a go route. Well, let's make sure that player is he good at that? Let's try to get him in that position to get the ball to him in a wheel route. So that's one of the things we try to do offensively, is just try to spread the love, spread the wealth. And if you don't, we're going to have some calls from parents and friends, and hey, why this guy didn't get the ball enough? So we just try to stay within the system and take what the defense provides us and try to exploit the weaknesses. So we do move guys around. We may put Samaj in the backfield, let them roll out, create a mismatch on the linebacker. So in that particular case, but it's very important that we keep the defense off balance in terms of our game, because you try to stop the running game. You got Rick in the passing game. You try to stop the jet. We got the power read. So there's a lot of things that we can do offensively that we can exploit. We just haven't yet put it all together yet. And when we do, that's when you're going to have something special.
And it all comes back down to that offensive line continuing to be as stellar as it has been all season long. There were several times where Dave would be making the call, and the first thing I'm thinking about for my color commentary is Rick's got all the time in the world here to make a decision. And as things are breaking down, these guys are athletic enough. That offensive line's giving this offense second, third, and fourth chances to make plays.
Yeah, the offensive line is the got to be the backbone of your team, particularly on the offensive side. We have great guys on that side of the ball. We got Mir Herring going committed to Michigan, and we try to run behind him. And once he get his hands on you, he's going to drive you. He loves to finish, and that's the strength of Amir, is that he's finished, and his blocks could be very deadly to some of these players out here. So it's very important that we try to maintain that, establish that running game, because we got some guys up front that can move the ball.
All right, Coach Grice and Tyler Keefe talking about primarily the contest last week at Family Fun Night as Clarkston came to town and West Bloomfield beat their very, very challenging opponent last week with a huge victory. Lakers 4-0, and we shift now to Rochester Adams. Game tonight, again, we'll have all the coverage right here. Couldn't be a bigger game, likely the biggest game in the state of Michigan in Division I in high school football, and certainly in our conference, the OAA Reds. So enough about football, although it's very hard for Tyler and I and many people in the community to talk about anything else with your Laker West Bloomfield High School football team doing so incredibly well. But moving on, big day yesterday here in the area as we had the ribbon cutting ceremony for our brand new and spectacular West Bloomfield Middle School. There is our own Suzanne Levine of the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce speaking at the ribbon cutting yesterday. From the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Schools, the West Bloomfield Middle School grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony yesterday was a tremendous success, and a big thank you from the schools to all the students, staff, and the Board of Education and all of the community who came out. A lot of people there yesterday. You could see some of them right in front of the school right there. They say the building would not have been possible without the unwavering support of everybody. Lots of presentations, as you could see some of the video clips here right now. And we were there and recorded all of it yesterday. And we will have this for you, I believe, in its complete version, airing for you in the coming days right here on Civic Center TV. And look for more of that. And we'll also have that on our website. If you couldn't make it to this auspicious occasion, we certainly hope that you will tune in. Speaking of auspicious occasions, we have the West Bloomfield Fire Department open house happening a week from Sunday, October 2nd. Be sure to mark your calendar. We'll all be out there. It should be a lot of fun. This is a great event, especially for you to bring the very young kids in your household, or if you have grandchildren, you'd like to bring them along. It's a great thing, a good opportunity for everybody to learn about fire safety. And we really hope that you make it. We'll be broadcasting live. I think we're starting around noon and running till about 3 p.m. So we'll be out there live on Civic Center TV, live on 89.3 Lakes FM. Next Sunday, mark your calendar. You might have to give up Lions football for a couple of hours. Just roll the game on tape at home and come out and join us at a great event, the Fire Prevention Week celebration at the West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House, Fire Station number 1. That's the one right next to West Bloomfield High School. We're going to take a break. Got a couple of very interesting guests coming up. We're going to find out about a very unique program in the Oakland County Sheriff's Department. We'll do that down the road here in a little bit. But we're also going to find out about Words of Hope for Life when we join their executive director, Nikki O'Donnell, in just a minute. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. You are watching The Splash Live. We will be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Splash. Dave Scott here in the anchor chair today. Awful nice to be here in the warm confines of our studios here in West Bloomfield. Tyler Keefe getting ready for the MegaCast coming up in just a couple of minutes. On this show, we take a look at the West Bloomfield area and our neighboring communities. Tyler takes a wider look after 10 o'clock at Oakland County and the state of Michigan. Great program here in Oakland County at the Sheriff's Office, helping women with self-defense. Joining us now to tell us more about it is Jen Miles, captain at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office Self-Defense Awareness Program Coordinator. Jen Miles, good morning. Are you Officer Miles?
Good morning. I'm a captain with the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, Captain Miles. You got to get the right designation here. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Self-defense, a big issue. Tell us why it's important for the women of our area and people in general to take this seriously.
Thank you for having me here today. This is such an important topic, and our program back in 2009, Sheriff Mike Bouchard called and said, hey, I have this idea. I would like to bring self-defense classes to the women within Oakland County. And that was primarily due to the increase against violence against women at the time. Ever since then, we filled up every class almost immediately because unfortunately that violence isn't stopping. Our classes are meant to help physically, mentally, and emotionally prepare a woman for an attack that may happen. And the hard part is that emotional component and the mental component that really looks at the fact that you're most likely going to know the person who attacks you. It's not going to be the random crime in our neighborhood or in a place that you're unfamiliar with. It's going to unfortunately be someone intimate to you. So we really try and look at getting those classes out to all the women throughout Oakland County who live, work, or play here.
Jen, when you think about self-defense, you think about, someone in a martial arts class and they're all physically fit and doing all the, the heavy lifting. I assume this is a different kind of a program suitable for everybody, correct?
Yes, we focus 14 and older. Our oldest participant was 93 and she was amazing. We try to focus on the group that we have in front of us. Sometimes we have a special group that says, okay, I'd like to have a class and we all do the same business or we all are a part of the same club. Really, it boils down to, as a woman, as a female in our society, we just have different vulnerabilities than men do. And when we treat it like we have the same, that's when we start to look at things differently. I'm not a boxer. I was never a martial artist. And with a little bit of practice and some mental knowledge, you can really do a lot of powerful stuff.
I assume part of the power is to know what to do and what not to do. Maybe there are times when you just need to get out of the way. Maybe there are times when you need to confront the attacker in a more aggressive way. I assume that's part of what your training is all about.
It is part of it. What we really focus on is what is right for the individual. I know for me, I've had plenty of men in my life tell me what I should and shouldn't do. And I talk about it in class, quite frankly. I'm not going to do some of the stuff they tell me to do. I'm not a boxer. I'm not going to go fisticuffs with the guy. I like to say I can outsmart him at times. And if there's a point that I have to confront it, that is a very personal and intimate choice. And to assume that we all have the same approach to it is, it's not fair, and it doesn't cross the board the way it needs to. We really look at what the woman chooses is the right thing. There's nothing worse than telling someone who's been attacked, well, why didn't you do this? Or you should have. No,
Okay.
They were the only one there, and they survived. So they did the right thing.
Captain Jen Miles of the Oakland County Sheriff's Department talking about these self-defense classes. Okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Where do you sign up? What are the classes like? How do they work?
So our classes right now are the October Saturdays. We primarily focus our countywide classes on those first Saturday in October. You go to the Sheriff's Office website to sign up. We did post it 1 week ago and filled up in 3 days. So we are adding classes to our schedule. We actually have a class scheduled in West Bloomfield at one of your organizations out there that focuses on elderly folks. So if you check back to the website regularly, we are adding classes, or if there's someone out there who has a particular group, they can email the sheriff's office and we can see what we can do to set up a special class for them. The great part about our classes is they're always free. We want to be able to go anywhere within Oakland County and really support the women throughout our county with survival.
Captain Miles, what a worthy project. And thank you for taking time to let the community know about it. We'll invite people to go to the Sheriff's Department website to get more information. Good to know that we have some of the classes going on right in our own communities. You don't need to drive up to the governmental center in Waterford or Pontiac or anywhere. Your classes are close to home. Final question for you, Captain. I assume, regardless of the training, that women who go through this will feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more safe, a little bit more secure as they're walking around our community. And to me, that's a good thing. Am I in the right in the right direction? All right.
Absolutely. We really focus on that prevention when we can, but we have to remember that the choice to become the survivor of an attack isn't ours. The bad guy chooses that. So we have to be prepared for whatever they might throw at us. And some of that could be escape. Some could be fighting back. Some of it might even be that freeze moment where you have to hide until they're gone. So that personal choice on what somebody decides to do is really an intimate decision based on the tools that they have available to them. I might prepare to run, but if I just hurt my ankle and I have a boot on, I can't run. So I better have another plan in mind.
All right,
so we talk about preparation and planning.
14 to infinity, whatever your age is, you're a woman in Oakland County, why don't you find out more about it? Go to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Captain Miles, thank you very much for joining us. We got to scoot. Time is out, but good to have you right here on the Splash Live. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. Find out about words of hope for life in just a moment. You are watching the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Very much joining us, Dave Scott, here at our Splash Live studios. Tyler Keefe standing by. We'll get to him just after 10 o'clock today for the MegaCast. Good to have you with us. Last week, there was a great event, the Words of Hope for Life View Fest 2022 happened in the Walled Lake area. Couldn't be there. Maybe you didn't make it either. Let's find out all about it. And about this organization, Nikki O'Donnell joins us, the executive director of Words of Hope for Life. Morning, Nikki. Thank you for joining us here on the Splash Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're tight on time. Let's get right to it. Tell us about your organization and what you do.
So we reimagine mental health. Words of Hope for Life is a mental health action organization. So we go into the community and we do something we call event-based community intervention. We allow communities to come together and experience mental health in a way that they probably never have before.
So how does that work? You get out, you had this event last week. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, so we put on this huge event. We get over, 65 community partners that come together all with the same mission that we really want to change the climate of mental health for our community. And so we put on this event that really has a feel and a vibe of a festival with music and food trucks, activities, crafts, sports, all of these different things, fashion, and we all come together and participate in a really, really fun, really powerful way. So even if you attended the event, you may not actually know that what you're doing is actually benefiting your mental health just by participating.
I think there still is. We think we're doing a lot better, but there's still a little stigma, isn't there? If you say, well, I've got a mental health issue, I need to go see a quote unquote shrink, probably not the nicest word, right? There's a little stigma there that we're working against. You've taken it, twisted it 180 degrees into something a little bit more pleasurable.
Right. That is exactly our goal. As a clinical psychologist myself, we're here in my office right now, and I spend a lot of time here. But what I really think, where I think that where we need to move is into communities. Mental health has got to look different, because you're right. A lot of people won't come here to see a therapist like myself. But everybody has mental health, and we all have those needs more now than ever, I think.
Do you feel, and we only got a minute, do you feel the stress level has been a little bit higher in this COVID era? Because I certainly do.
Across the board, 100%.
All right. So this is something we need to work on. We see the result of these mental health breakdowns happen in our community's most tragic events. I see what you're doing as heroic. You're kind of like one of the first responders of mental health. We need more of this out there in our community. I applaud what you're doing, and we would love to have you back on when we have more time to talk about it. For people in the community that want to learn about your organization and the services you offer, where would they go?
Check out Words of Hope for the number 4 life.com. We've got all of our events, activities, programming, and then all the other cool stuff that we're up to. So come check us out.
All right, your office looks so cool. I want to just come visit you. I really like the way it all is decorated and everything. All right, thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk again at another day when we have a little bit more time. Nikki O'Donnell, the Executive Director of Words of Hope for Life, joining us here this morning in The Splash. Hey, time always runs away from us. We got to go. Before I say so long, good luck to the Lakers. They're going to beat Rochester Adams tonight by at least 7 points. That's my number, and I hope you tune in across all of our platforms. Tyler Keefe coming up next. We'll see you next time right here on The Splash Live. Have a great Friday.